Welcome to Meet the Expert. Today we're going to talk about marketing, but especially the marketing trends that can actually help your business to improve and to engage with more potential clients. Right, Al? So I want to start with the first point that everybody's talking about, which is AI. What you can think about AI?
Well, it's the hottest term. Everybody's talking about AI. So what people don't know is how they can use AI in business. I mean, it's a great, even on news headlines you see AI, but we need to educate the business people on how they can actually use AI in their business.
Actually, when you talk about education, there's now programs, they are AI of course, but they are emphasizing on the learning and education platforms, because we know that now a lot of students are using AI. I mean, as an educator, I know that they use the artificial intelligence to do their homework or assignments, but I always try to encourage them to use the technology, but also to use their brains. Like, put the content you want, write your ideas, and then you can use AI to help you improve. But don't just copy and paste or ask AI for the information when you can actually be the original creator of that content. So we need to use the technology, but not depend on the technology, I believe. And when we talk about AI, you were talking about this before, that you have seen now people talking, but it's actually not people, it's the AI that is building the image of somebody doing the presentation, right?
Yeah, there's a company that's advertising to have an AI marketing person created for your company that's going to describe your product or service. And you can even go one step further, and they're going to actually help you sell your product or service by doing a demonstration. And it's pretty impressive, the quality of the pictures, the videos, unbelievable.
You can tell if it's a real person or not, because they are improving more and more the quality and the effects. And right now in social media, I don't believe anything that I see. I need to double check and make sure that that is not false advertising, or
Exactly.
just they are trying to be sensationalist. I think that's the term.
That's a good term.
With the news. And now everything is viral. Like, be cautious of what you do, because everything can be positive, but also can be negative for your business. So in this show, we, of course, want to focus on the business aspect and how this tool can help you to improve. Definitely for the ones that are not too familiar with AI, I strongly recommend you to at least start exploring the option. They have not just content creation, but also you have a lot of tools that we don't even know yet. I'm learning to use more and more AI, and you can also create graphics. You can create presentations. Yes, definitely you can create images, like you said before.
PowerPoint.
Yes, PowerPoint.
That's so important today.
Yes, the other day I was trying to do a presentation, and then I used Canvas. And then I realized that they also have this feature of AI that can create the graphics for you. So I just put the content, and the program immediately created the presentation for me with templates, colors, and everything. And if you upgrade, of course, because usually these platforms start for free, but if you want to have additional features or more maybe exclusive content, you have to pay additional for that. And that's kind of interesting. So really, the presentation that usually takes me probably, let's say 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes to do, it took me 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, I had the PowerPoint presentation, and I'm very shocked with that.
Well, it takes you 10 minutes, and it takes me half an hour, because I'm not as good as computers as you. So if I'm able to take something I normally took half an hour to do, and I've been able to use it to cut it down to 5 minutes, so for me, not as technical as you are, it's a huge help.
And I'm not that technical, so imagine the generations, younger generations, like the Generation Z, millennials, they are very familiar with technology. My daughter, she's 12, and she managed much better than me the technology. And if she doesn't know a program, she just, I don't know, somehow she figured out in 30 seconds how to do it. So it's very impressive how generations, have different skills.
Skill levels.
Skill levels, that's the term, yes. But having said that, it's also important to understand and learn. You know, you need to adapt to the society, you need to adapt to the technology, so you cannot stay behind. Especially if you have your business, you need to be able to update yourself to the technology or whatever is, you know, the trend, especially when we talk about marketing. Another thing that is important is social media. So right now, not having social media for your business is not good. Because the first thing that we do to check somebody's profile is what?
Go to Facebook or their LinkedIn.
Exactly, social media. So we want to know who you are, what type of posts you have or publications. So we want to get familiar with you. And if we cannot find you, it's going to be kind of suspicious. There you go.
Just like the old days, we used to look for their website. I didn't want to do business with anybody unless I saw their website. But now it's migrated to social media, the same concept. Because now I look at a website, I don't know. A lot of the websites now don't have people.
That's another point.
That's horrible.
In marketing, it's very important to have a website with real people and real contact information. I hate when I see a website with pictures from the internet.
Yes.
And the contact information is like a generic. It's a generic form that you don't know who to reach.
And there's no phone number and no email. You have to fill out a form just to get them to contact you. So what credibility is that? Yes. If I don't know who you are and where you are and where I can...
I mean, somehow I understand the idea why they do it. They want to generate leads.
Yeah,
but it's not that effective. Yes. You know, a lot of the time what happens when I'm looking for some platforms that I'm trying to get more information, and I go to the website and I see everything except the price, and then I need to fill out a form for them to contact me, I just get discouraged. I don't want to do it.
This website that say, get your free quote now. So after you fill out a page of information, then you get to the end, somebody will contact you.
Yeah.
That is so deceptive. I tried to get a price on insurance the other day. Get your free quote now. So I filled out the form.
Because
nothing. But that's misleading. I was mad. So those types of approaches are not effective.
Yeah, because the people wants to have the numbers right there, like up front. What are your packages? What you have to offer? I understand that not always you can have a package because maybe your business is like a most customized service, and based on your needs, you're gonna get the price. But if that's the case, you need to have a contact information where people can call you immediately and find out more about that, right?
And don't say, get your free quote now.
Yes.
Say, someone will contact you. Fill out the information, somebody will. Be honest, be upfront. We talked about credibility, right?
That goes actually with one of the trends that's called the sustainability and ethical branding. Sustainability and ethical branding. Consumers demand transparency, ethical sourcing, and sustainability. And that's true. You know, when we talk about transparency, that's exactly what happens. That now with all the competition that we have out there, and obviously the potential customers, consumers for your business, you want to be transparent.
Yes.
You want to be real, and you want to have, you know, concrete information about what you want to offer.
The problem right now is that there's so much fraud that people are skeptical. So the first thing that you do that is not maybe ethical, you're going to turn them away. So people are much more skeptical now than they used to, because now people call you all day trying to sell you something or ask you for something. So you know who's real anymore. You had that call the other day.
Yeah, the others, yes.
So this is the reality of today, is people are not as gullible as they used to be. They want to know who you are, and if you're real, and if they can trust you. Everything's based on trust. If their first experience with you, they feel good about you, then they're going to do business with you.
That's true, that's true. Talking about security, now another thing that is happening is the, what is this in cybersecurity?
Cybersecurity.
No, but when the spam goes.
Spam.
So, but the hackers basically, right? They are all the time, you know, watching how they can get you. We have that issue the other day with our email account. It's crazy. But you need to be cautious as a company in terms of how you're going to protect your company from these cyber attacks. But at the same time, as a consumer, don't be naive, right? Like, why somebody's going to ask for donation? Like, what company is asking for donation? Let me call, let me find out what's happening here.
Yep.
So make sure about that. Or another thing that I also see all the time, people is falling in this trap, is the emails. When they say, this is your invoice.
Yes.
So the first thing you see, invoice, I didn't request any invoice. So what you do, because you get scared about being charged, right? So you open the email, you click on that invoice, and that's it. So don't ever do that. I mean, you're gonna open the email, but don't click on the attachment, don't click on any link, because that's how they get you.
If you're not expecting an email, don't respond to it, or ask somebody that you know that's in IT to check it for you, because they try everything. They sound like it's your bank, they sound like it's your credit card, and then you go open the click, and now you have a virus in your computer.
And that's the problem with the marketing now. We are bombarded. We are bombarded from promotions and marketing from everywhere. So we receive a lot of emails, we receive text messages, we receive in social media invitations. So it's really annoying sometimes, and we don't know how to escape from all this. And that's the bad part of marketing, because we don't know who to trust, like you said. But as a company, I will say that the best thing you can do is to create a relationship. And that's what you always say that. So marketing is going to be a reinforcement of what you do. But the first step for you is to build a relationship.
Yes.
Because like you said, if somebody is expecting your email, is expecting your call, is expecting a message from you, they're gonna open and they're gonna follow up with you. So it's not about cold calling anymore, if you think about this.
No.
How many people is actually responding the cold calling?
Nobody. People are hanging up. And now, even more than ever, people are not picking up calls from numbers they don't know. So when you try to call, it's not going to work anymore.
Yeah.
So you have to have a real reason to call them. You have to earn their trust in probably 15 seconds that it's something legitimate. And then once you open them up, then you can present whatever you want to present to them. But the world has changed completely. Yeah. So we have to adapt.
I think in marketing is about the process and a combination of activities. It's not only one thing that is going to work for you, it's a combination of elements. So don't think that because somebody's offering you, a database, so you can start contacting all these people. Yeah, you can do it, but if they don't know you, probably they're not going to even open the email. So it's definitely a combination of activities. Building relationship, you always talk about that, is very important. If you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to start your business, make sure about the foundation of your business definitely is the trust, but building relationships. And then there's another thing that is a trending marketing, which is the influencers. What you can say about that, Al?
Well, these influencers are great because they have huge following. Whether it's 1,000 or 1,000,000, like you said, those people have a following and they're constantly communicating with them. So those people are waiting for them to tell them things or educate them or tell them about a business or a product. So influencers are more effective, from what I've read, than celebrities today, because they don't trust celebrities anymore. So now the influencers are becoming more powerful, and even during the last elections, there were influencers, there were millions of people that followed them, and if they supported one of the candidates, that candidate had a better chance of getting elected because the influencers spoke positive of them. They endorsed them or interviewed them with positive questions. The other thing that you have to be careful with is there's influencers that can negatively affect your brand, because people think that because it's an influencer and has a lot of followers or a lot of subscribers, they're going to help your brand. But we saw that happen with Bud Light, how the influencer they partnered with almost virtually destroyed Bud Light. The biggest selling light beer in the country was almost destroyed, if not still hasn't come back, because the influencer was not relating to their customer base. So they totally screwed up.
That's a good point what you say about the customer. So make sure that this influencer that you want to work with, because the way you do the influencers is you have to pay the influencer, or you have to do some kind of strategic alliance for the influencer endorse your brand, right?
Yes.
So, but make sure about this influencer that is actually reaching the target audience. You know, in general terms, it's like the potential clients that you need. Because if you look for an influencer that not necessarily is going to reach the people that you need, so that influencer is not going to be necessarily positive for your business. So that's a good point.
Or they don't relate to them because their values or ideology is totally different from your customer. The second example is Jaguar cars. Very conservative, right? Tremendous brand.
Yeah, I still remember the classic Jaguar with the Jaguar.
Incredible cars. And then they hired this marketing company that went completely off track, nothing to do with the brand, the history.
Oh yeah, I remember the commercial, the commercial with the pink.
Telebuddies.
And the pink, right?
It was, they would never showed a car.
Yes.
They showed a bunch of people in
Different
Teletubby, and it had nothing to do. So they completely alienated their client base. It was horrible, and they're still suffering from that. They're almost out of business overnight.
Wow.
Well,
Well, I heard that Jaguar is not producing cars.
Well, they're producing one model, but that's it. And that model's not selling too good because there's so much competition. So unless they rebrand and come up with what they used to do in the past, those classic, beautiful cars, they're gone. There's other brands now that are getting better at luxury cars.
Let me see what else we have here in our notes. The RB, what is the RBBR power marketing?
Yeah,
Yes,
VR,
yeah,
power
that's
marketing,
what is it.
live streams,
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot the
viral
last one.
try-ons.
Live streams.
live
And
streams.
actually, this type of, well, I call it podcast, but today my producer correct me, and he said that it's a video cast. It's not a podcast because we're recording. Anyway, so if you check, excuse me, the duration usually is like an hour. I have seen other videos like are 2 hours long. Nobody's gonna see 2 hours to watch all that.
No.
So what they do is now divided in several parts
Segments.
and short videos. The segments, short videos, probably they last 1 minute. I have seen the majority is like a less than 1 minute, but they create like a series, so they can watch the first, the second, and something that is very interesting that is about the program, like a YouTube, Facebook, probably Instagram does the same effect, maybe all the social media platforms. Once you are watching one reel or video short, the system is gonna bring you more and more and more about the same. If it's not about the same video, it's going to be about the same sector.
Incredible. When you watch a video on YouTube, like I watch videos about cars, and they keep coming.
It's because they are reading,
videos,
you know,
That's incredible.
what do you want to call it, the
Your
track,
history.
the
Yeah,
metrics
the
in the
track
back.
is amazing.
They are checking all the time what you are watching.
Yes.
So they're going to keep sending that type of information. So you're going to keep watching, because what they want in the end is to engage. They want you to engage all the time with the information they have in the platform. That's why. So it's very interesting how they manage the content, and that's a great actually tool for us, because if you start one video, they're gonna keep adding more videos similar to, they're gonna keep adding more of your videos to a similar target audience. So that's how you can actually engage and grow your base.
But also on Google. I did a search the other day for something I wanted to buy. Now I'm getting popping on my searches the same product. They drive me crazy.
Yeah,
It's overwhelming.
that's part of marketing, and what the technology
crazy.
comes with all that. It's amazing how if you think about this, all this analysis, because all this you don't see it. It's internally. The computer, the system is managing all that for you. So we are bombarded by this technology. We don't even notice, but it's the fact. And TikTok is one of them. In TikTok, you do a lot of shorts in TikTok, right? But you're gonna keep the system is gonna keep sending more about the same, and that's one tool that you can
I think
use for your
Facebook
business.
started doing that,
Well, all of them have a similar.
but Facebook started spamming me.
Facebook?
When I used to go to the videos on Facebook, then they started sending me all these crazy videos from India and Asia.
Maybe
So
because you push in one
disconnected.
video.
Yeah, but or by mistake I pushed something
you
that
mean
was
the reels?
whatever. I kept getting all this garbage, so I stopped looking at the videos. So
Or because maybe you
I couldn't
click on
stop
one
it.
of the videos, and like I said, they're going to keep sending you
That was
similar videos.
horrible. I couldn't-
And that's happening with almost all the social media platforms. Each platform has like a specific features, and also the audience is a little bit different, but still similar idea, behind the scenes, they are trying to always get you with more engagement. TikTok is more for, I would say, Generation Z, millennials. Instagram is millennials, Generation Z, but also the Generation X is using Instagram. Facebook is more and more that I do the analysis and I start looking the data in Facebook. People over 40 is more engaged with Facebook. Actually, my mom is engaged with Facebook.
Imagine.
And if you think about the technology years ago, my mom, forget about trying. I never thought that she was going to learn how to use Facebook. And now she does Facebook, Messenger, WhatsApp, and YouTube. She's all the time in YouTube. So, it's a matter of learning and be consistent, and you can do it. So everything that we're talking about here, you can actually implement for your business, because all these tools are very important.
But you have to research, because you may be getting to a point where you're spamming people too much, and they're going to not want to hear from you anymore. So your marketing has to be very targeted, but also be very careful on how you market people, because if you get too much information and they see it all the time, they're going to get tired and they're going to block you out.
What I heard the other day, that I was watching a video on YouTube from this corporate executive that used to work for, let me think, I think he said Instagram, that it's not about how many publications you can have in social media, how many times a day or a week. It's about the content. And he was saying that he published like a once a week, but what he does is so good that he has millions of followers. So it's really not about how many times you do it, it's about the content. And that is something important that we're still working on, right? As a Chamber of Commerce, we're still trying to get, the best engagement possible, and we try different things, but definitely content is important. So when we talk about content, you need to make sure, if you want to provide something that is more educational, informative, you want to provide entertainment, or you want to provide, I don't know, even gossip. So you need to think about what format you want to give to your content, and based on that, look for that type of audience.
I talked to a lady yesterday, and she has a company that does storytelling.
Storytelling.
So she helps companies market and promote their product or service by telling a story, and new stories all the time. So she doesn't do any.
I like that. Very interesting.
She doesn't do any traditional marketing or promotion. She helps people write stories that people will say, "Oh, this is an interesting story." So talking about a product or a service, she's a storyteller, and that's her company. So now she changed the idea of.
That's a unique idea.
It is a fantastic idea. I thought it was amazing. I just talked to her yesterday. I said, "Wow, this is amazing," because you can post information about your product or service, but if you're not educating people in the process, you're just selling. People don't want to be sold that quickly.
That's right.
So you're giving them information. If you're selling cars, you don't talk about the cars. You talk about how you can save gas, how safety is important in the cars, how technology in the cars. So more car companies are educating people on the value of buying their car instead of the car.
Because marketing now is different.
So that's changed.
Decades ago, marketing
Yes.
was more focused on the product.
Yes.
But now marketing is focusing on the customer,
On the-
like what they
and the
want, what they
benefits and
need, the
features.
benefits, the values.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we have 5 minutes left. Anything else that you want to say about marketing?
Well, if you're not building relationships in anything that you do, that's why I think the storytelling is important, because people are going to contact you and say, oh, I want to know about your story with your company. And you tell stories and different things, how your product helps somebody. That's a story. And then they're going to contact you and say, oh, I might benefit from that.
I like that.
So I think that we need to look at a different approach. Everything's moving so fast, it's impossible to keep up. But you have to always look at new, interesting concepts like storytelling to tell your story. In that process, you want to build a conversation. So I talked to somebody on the phone and I said, oh, this is a great opportunity for ladies to network. And they say, oh, tell me more. I'm interested in networking with ladies, but I'm never selling a product or a service. I'm telling them the benefit of
The value.
the value of building a relationship with other women so they can do business together eventually.
Well, talking about stories, our upcoming guest for the Success Story Show is going to be Commissioner Guzman, right? And she's going to tell us her story, talking about
Incredible.
stories.
That's a story.
And before we end this chapter of the Meet the Expert, we also want to make a couple of announcements. The annual Women Business Convention.
Yes, we have our annual Women Business Convention that will be bringing women from all over the United States and other countries to Miami, Florida. So we're going to have a fantastic event that includes...
Well, we have several activities scheduled. We are planning to do a VIP tour, especially for everybody that is visiting the city and they want to, know more about Miami and do the sightseeing. So we have scheduled a very nice activity the first day. Then we have, of course, the Women Business Expo and conferences. That's going to take place the second day, all day long, and networking opportunities. And the last day, which is the best part of the convention, we're going to be recognizing successful women in business. Our goal is to recognize 100 successful ladies from everywhere. So it's going to be a big event. We're super excited. Our nomination list this year is over 600. So we're still in the process of selecting the recipients, and it's unbelievable the good response.
The response is amazing.
That we had with this event.
From all over the world. I had ladies from other countries too. And we have every industry and every vocation. We have politicians, we have...
Yes.
It's a multi-sectoral and multinational event.
And it's going to be life-changing experience.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Al. Thank you so
Maria.
much for everybody that's watching the show today. Please keep following us because we're going to bring more guests. Meet the Experts is the name of the show because we want to bring experts. So you can learn, you can educate yourself, you can get informed about what is happening in different industries.
It's all about your connections.
Bye.